know a lot of you have been asking about the face behind the cooking, so here's the face. Today we will be making chicken Alfredo. So if you know me and if you follow me on Twitter, you know I talk a lot of smack about jarred Alfredo, and I just really can't get past that funk of the cheeses that they use in there. So today we're going to be making chicken Alfredo from scratch, Danzii's way, of course, because there's no real other way. Anywho, and you know, let me know what you guys think about the recipe. It's super easy. It's gonna be very simple, and it's going to be very beginners friendly. That said, you know, I really hope you guys enjoy this video. I know a lot of persons have been asking me about Alfredo. If you don't have chicken, you can use shrimp, but you'll never ever see me preparing shrimp because I will literally fall up and die. That said, I really hope you guys learned something today. Remember to let me know about any substitutions that you're wondering about for this recipe. You know, I'll always be answering those. Remember to follow me at itsdanzii on Twitter for any questions that you might have. You can also leave them there. Remember to comment, remember to like, share, subscribe. You know, honestly, it's been emptied it out in that, and I'm just grounding that up. See, it's nice and grounded, and believe me, it smells very different from traditional black pepper. I can't explain, but it smells much fresher than just regular old black pepper. Of course, if you have a spice grinder or a food processor, you can run it through it. You want to ensure that it's finely crushed, because it's going to be very unpleasant if you get a whole bite of like a whole peppercorn. Right, so we're good with about that. Okay guys, so I have balsamic vinegar and extra virgin olive oil. We're going to be using these in a ratio of 1:1. So let's get going. So first you get a bowl and you add in your tomatoes. Okay, next you add your greenery, then add some of your garlic, not all of it, just about a teaspoon. Okay, we're gonna be adding 1 tablespoon of the balsamic vinegar, as well as 1 tablespoon of the extra virgin olive oil. Now, tomatoes and balsamic vinegar pair very well together, traditionally so. So let's get this going. And tomatoes tend to absorb salt, so I'm going to be a little heavy-handed with the salt. And then you know how we salt from above. All right, and then we're going to add in our ground up black pepper, and let's get a spatula and mix this together. All right, and we're going to let this rest. Of course, if you want, you can make your tomatoes smaller. I do want the texture from them, so we're gonna let this rest. And I'm also gonna add in, when I'm topping the French bread, I'm going to add some fresh parsley on top, in addition to the ones that we've already added to this. Okay, and you can just give it a little taste, and my salt level is good enough for me. I have to watch my pressure. I'm getting old, guys. All right folks, so what do I have here? I have some fresh herbs. So this is thyme, oregano, rosemary, and sage. Okay, what will I be doing with this? I am going to steep them in 2 cups of water. Now traditionally, Alfredo is made using heavy cream, right? I'm not a big fan of heavy cream for no specific reason, but what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna get about 2.5 cups of water, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna steep these for a few minutes just so that I can pull the flavor out of them. Then I'm using good old Lasco instant milk powder, but one of the great things with this is it's whole milk, so it's very creamy. So I'm gonna use that for my cream. So when I'm finished steeping these herbs, the water that is left back will be infused with flavor from these fresh herbs, and then this is what I'm gonna use to mix out my milk powder, so I can use that as the base of my Alfredo sauce. So let's get going. All right guys, so we're pouring in our hot water. Ooh, that smells really good. And then I'm gonna just cover it. All right guys, so the plastic container decided that it wasn't cooperating today, so I got a good old plate and then I just covered it. I want to show you guys how the water kind of is changing color. I added just about half cup more water to the container, and you can actually smell the flavors being pulled out. So we're just gonna cover this and set it to the side. All right guys, so while we wait on our herbs to steep, and we're making them steep for just about 10 minutes, just in case I probably didn't say it. For those of you who have been watching my video, who can tell what this is? If you guess chicken ham, then you're right. So this is chicken ham. What am I doing with it? I just want it as a textural element, just some crunch in a dish. We're going to render it out until it gets very crispy, almost like bacon. Why I'm not using bacon, you might ask? I don't know, I just never really felt too bacony today. So we're going to just cut these up very finely, and then we'll pretty much just render out the fat and use it as a textural contrast. And of course, guys, remember, if you want to use bacon, that's fine. If you have some ham, you can get the texture out of it, that's also fine. Like, just crisp it up just to get some texture. You can use crispy chicken skins, but I just don't feel like eating chicken skin just so. Without chicken is healthy. I mean, yes, I know it's bad either way, but something in my spirit just tell me for that. So let's just get these going and we can move on afterwards. Okay guys, so it's been about 10 minutes, and if you notice, our water is fully infused with herbs. Like, as you can see, like, you know, like when you have mint tea, you see how it have that kind of brown look. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me pull it up, see. Anyways, what we're going to do next is we're going to strain this off, and we're going to mix in our milk powder, and we're going to head over to the stove. And it's going to be one continuous motion. So we're going to sear the chicken, get the pasta going, and work on the roux. Okay guys, I just paused to kind of show you the color of the liquid after I've strained it off. See, it has that amber look. So we're just going to mix this with our milk powder right now. Alright guys, and just before I run over to the stove, I just want you guys to see that, you know, I've mixed in my milk powder, and I have this beautiful whole milk, about 3 cups of it. Here's the thing why I've chosen to do this. With heavy cream, you cannot infuse flavor like that, because it's gonna curdle. Like, if you try to heat it and infuse flavor, it's gonna curdle and stuff. So with this, it gives you that unique opportunity to build your own flavor, and you guys know that I am big on that. All right, so now we're heading over to the stove. All right guys, so it's cooking time. I've added my sunflower and extra virgin olive oil blend. I've just added just about enough to coat the bottom of the pan while it heats up. And over here we have some water and salt that I'm waiting on to come to a boil. All right, so this is our chicken that I'm gonna be using. I'll leave in the comments below the seasoning that I used for the marinade. I just grounded up some pimento seeds, crushed black pepper, mustard seeds, paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, and salt. All right, and as soon as this heats up, I'm gonna put them in. And guys, remember, it's chicken breast that I'm using, and you know how fickle chicken breast is. Leave it in there too long, and all that's gonna happen is that it's gonna dry out. So we're just searing them for about 3 minutes. We're gonna give them a toss in our cast iron pan, and then we're just gonna pull them off. All right, so let's get to it. And I cut them in strips because I never wanted to use the whole chicken breast, and also it wasn't even whole chicken breast, it was chicken breast tenderloin, so it was already cut. I just made them in smaller pieces. And you know, our famous wooden spoon, the one that you guys would have invested in, is what we'll be using to get them going. And if you notice the chicken breast sticking a little bit, this cast iron pan is new, So it's going to do that until, imagine like new shoes, how they kind of rub your feet first as you break them in. So as we use the pot more and it kind of sands down some more, then the cast iron itself would be, you know, it will make stuff stick a lot less. All right, so we're just going to get this going for just a couple minutes, and then we'll be able to remove them because we don't want them to overcook, and they'll be the last thing that we add into our pasta. Well, the second to last thing that we add into our pasta. And that smells really good, by the way. And I'm just going to use a slotted spoon to pull them out. Okay. Drain off the excess oil and set them aside. So our pasta water, as you can see, is boiling, and we can now add our bow ties and just give it a little mix so that they're not clumped together. Just let that boil until it's almost cooked. So just before the last minute of its doneness, we're going to pull it out and we're going to finish cooking it in our Alfredo sauce that we're going to get started on literally right now. We're going to get started on our roux, and then we're going to get started on our Alfredo sauce. So we will be modeling a bechamel sauce, otherwise called a white sauce. We're going to be starting with 2 tablespoons of butter. Alright, and then our roux ratio has to be equal, so it has to be whatever amount of butter you're using is the same amount of flour that you're using. And then our flour needs to also be 2 tablespoons. But before we add our flour, just to build some flavor, we are going to be adding some garlic. Alright, so we're adding some chopped garlic. And guys, this is one of those times where I don't want you guys to substitute butter and margarine, because there's a particular type of cream that you will be able to get from margarine, okay? And you're just gonna basically let the garlic, you know, brown up a bit, and then we're going to add in our flour. So now we can add in our flour, and now your whisk is gonna become your friend. The milk that we'll be adding in does need to be a little warm, but not to worry, because we had boiled the water, it is still warm because the day is so hot, so we can start to gradually put it in. And you basically repeat this step until you're out of milk. In the meantime, guys, you can go ahead and crisp up your bacon and crisp up my chicken ham because that's what I'm using today. So, you know, I didn't really talk much about balance today, but I'll be adding some plain Greek yogurt. Why? Greek yogurt specifically does have some acidity to it, and so I want to cut through some of the richness of this. So I'm just putting about 2 tablespoons of yogurt in. You notice our milk is curdling. You just need to give that a good whisk. You see how thick and rich our sauce looks? That's how you want it. Now it's time for us to grate in our cheese. I will be using this Parmesan wedge. You can get this at PriceSmart to buy. It's about $1,200 for the whole wedge, and I'm going to be grating in a generous amount. Guys, so I've grated in, remember the wedge that I showed you? I've grated in just like the tip of it, and that's enough. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be adding in my pasta, and then my chicken will be the last thing that I add in. I've reserved some of the pasta water because pasta water is a gem, okay? Because it's so rich in starch, it allows the pasta to bind to the sauce, and it also gives your pasta a nice shiny glossy thing to it. Here we have our chicken ham crisps. They're nice and golden brown. I just going to leave them for like a minute more. I don't want them to burn. And then now I'm gonna add in my pasta. And I've reduced the heat. Well, I've actually turned the stove off because I don't want my pasta to overcook. And then all we're gonna do for our bruschetta is we're just gonna toast up our bread with some olive oil, and then just add on our tomatoes. I'm gonna do that off camera so you guys will just see the finished product. If you want to really get an idea of how to do a bruschetta or a crostini, you can watch my spaghetti and meatball video. That kind of gives you an idea of how to toast up your bread. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're just gonna toast up our bread for our bruschetta, and I'm gonna just plate and show you guys the finished product. Alright guys, so we're at the end, and this is our finished product. See our pasta in very nicely. Anyways guys, this is our pasta without heavy cream, and this is basically what it looks like at the end. The flavors are spot on. I tasted a little earlier just to make sure that my flavors were together. It came together real nicely. This bruschetta, I didn't actually pop it in the oven. I did it on the stove top using a griddle, and this is the end result for my pasta. I'm really surprised with how well it came out, how thick and rich the sauce was, because I haven't really made Alfredo in a super long time. Anyways, I hope you guys will try this recipe. I like it very much. Let me know what you guys think. A lot of people have this conception that, you know, every single pasta you have to use heavy cream. It's okay, you can make a bechamel sauce and you'll still get that nice quality pasta. Do you see how our pasta water kind of helped us to get that nice sheen on our pasta, and how the sauce is just clinging to the pasta real nicely? This is exactly how you want your Alfredo to look. It doesn't need to be runny or anything like that. It doesn't need to be cakey. This is how I like my Alfredo. Let me know what you guys think about this recipe. I hope you will try this recipe. Don't forget to leave any questions about substitutions in the comments below, or you can send me a message on Twitter at It's Danzii. Alright guys, so this is basically it for today's episode from my kitchen to yours. Make sure that you guys continue to stay safe. Make sure that you continue to cook in what is still a weird, stressful time. From my kitchen to yours, bon appetit. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and remember to subscribe.